Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of your Tech Startup Podcast, or TSP Weekly. My name is Stephen Campbell. This is Amaris Gerson.
Good morning,
we're on episode 103. Today, we find ourselves here in the Accelerator Centre in Waterloo. Joining us today are Lucas Oldfield and Harry, and I'm going to go for it here,
Nope, you did it wrong.
Krithivasan.
Sure, that's close enough.
No. What is it?
Krithivasan.
Krithivasan. Harry Krithivasan. So Lucas and Harry. So from Horizons, is that right? Are you guys Horizons?
Horizon Engineering Solutions.
Horizon Engineering Solutions. So tell us about what you guys are doing at Horizons Engineering Solutions.
No, Horizon.
Horizon.
No
Yes.
S.
No Horizons, just a single horizon.
One horizon.
What are you guys doing?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we are in the field of intelligently managing energy distribution inside a facility. So what do I mean by that is we use a combination of artificial intelligence and IoT platform to monitor and manage energy distribution inside a facility. So what
do you mean facility?
Commercial spaces, hospitals. Right now we work in industrial, but we are developing our solution for commercial and hospital spaces as well. What do I mean by that, once again, is that imagine a scenario like this where there is a building and you want to save as much energy as possible, and you cannot actually have somebody working full-time running around to every single room and then turning on and turning off lights, turning on and turning off HVAC units, turning on and turning off security cameras where there's nobody around. So we use our own proprietary sensor module, our own communication network, and our AI platform to monitor what is happening inside the facility.
That's cool.
And manage energy based on that.
So it's almost like the Nest, that smart thermostat for your home, but for more than just the thermostat.
Yes.
And in a much bigger commercial space.
Exactly.
So that
I feel
is
like
really
my
cool.
dad needs this for his house because he always still yells at me about lights.
Yeah. I have a big problem with the fridge doors, teenagers.
Oh, yeah. I yell
guys,
at
come
people
on.
at the office about that.
Yeah. So what is that then? Is it a piece of software or is
It's
it
a
hardware
combination
you
of
guys
hardware and
installing?
software.
He already said it's the technology and all of it.
Yeah,
The
so
whole thing.
I thought you guys had some lights as well. Is that correct?
Right now, commercially available is our lights for industrial space. So for manufacturing, industrial, and warehouses, we have some initial traction and everything, which we'll talk about later.
Cool.
So on
A
that,
teaser.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
gotta be stay tuned, right? Anyway, yeah. So right now we are doing our artificial intelligence and our intelligent lighting system, and we are developing our HVAC. We are going to go through a pilot project very soon for our HVAC control and a security camera control as well. So we wanted to, not use the building automation as a traditional, boring, engineering, stupid thing that you don't even want to hear about, as opposed to start making it cool. And everybody wants to be able to manage energy in a very efficient and cool way, right? Like we all want to do that in today's age. And the only thing that's being a barrier is you don't want to turn off switches because my grandfather used to do that. Why am I still doing that? At the same time,
The switch has been really reliable for a long time.
and at the same time, I don't want to go through a stupid electrician or an engineering degree to be able to manage energy, right? Well, I went through that, the engineering part of it. I don't want everybody else to go through that as well. So,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So we wanted to make that easily accessible for everybody, right?
Cool. That really makes sense.
So I just have a quick question. I mean, Lucas hasn't said anything yet. What do you do at Horizon Engineering Solutions? What's your title?
Me.
Yeah, you specifically, Harry.
I
What do
am
you
a
do?
founder and the CEO.
Okay,
Bar.
and Lucas, what do you do?
I work on the sales side, so I didn't get the glitzy, glamorous engineering degree. So I just help push.
It's not glitzy or glamorous. you talk to engineers, they will tell you about that.
It's not glamorous at all. Sales might be a bit more glamorous.
Yeah, so I'm on the side where we're connecting our solution to clients essentially and helping gain traction. And right now, focused on the intelligent lighting system and moving in those industrial spaces and moving forward there.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you a chance to talk.
Well, no, I appreciate it.
So what was the genesis of this idea? Was this sort of something that you came out of school as an engineer and were working on as a project, or a passion, or what was the sort of...
why this?
What was
I
the genesis?
have a very solid story behind that because it's true.
Lay it on us.
I'm ready. Story time.
So
Story time with
what
Harry.
happened was I'm a control engineer. That's what I went to engineering for in school, and then I went over to England, master's in advanced control systems, and then I worked on system automation and control, all the automation stuff across Europe for a while before I came over here for my PhD.
Okay.
So while I was here on my PhD, until then I really did not have any real world experience. Let me put it that way.
A lot of academic experience.
Academic and research. I worked in real world control systems, but it's all for very high tech CERN kind of accelerator centers and things like that.
Wow.
So I worked in CERN for 6 months.
You know, those accelerator centers.
Yeah, CERN.
I worked at CERN for 6 months, by the way.
Wow,
That's
neat.
cool.
So
It'd take you 6 months just to learn your way around that place, I would imagine.
yeah, that's true. I still did not learn my place around. That living in Geneva was really interesting. We will talk about that if you have time.
Oh, another one.
After.
Yeah, we're going for beers later, are we?
Because it's a border city, right? So whatever I need cheap, I go to France side. If I want to stay back home, I go to Switzerland side. And all you have to do is just cross a set of lights and you're in France.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's a very cool place to live in. It was a very different experience, right?
Just like Waterloo and Kitchener.
Yeah, actually, very
much
true.
history.
Very, very true. Just like Waterloo and Kitchener, except it's a very significant difference as opposed
Well,
to...
you talk to anyone that's passionate about Kitchener, and they'll tell you it's a significant difference.
Please let me know if you know somebody of that. I don't know anybody who's passionate about Kitchener.
I am. We'll
So now
talk
you
later.
guys are going to talk later. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Anyway,
so, okay, so
I
how
came
did the,
in here
so we're
as
over
a
here doing
control
a PhD?
systems guy who is working on my PhD, still once again in system modeling and control. While I was here, I was working at a hotel on a part-time basis because I wanted to know what is locally here, how to adjust to a local market, how to adjust to a local community, and the best way to do that is interact with so many people. And the best possible route that I saw for that and that was easily accessible to me is work at a hotel in the front desk.
Okay.
Not the best option, but I did that, right?
Hey, you took a chance. That's good.
I took a chance, and while I was working there, I found out in real time that people really don't care about the energy they waste in hotels. Everybody's guilty, you, me, I presume. 99% of the people are
Don't
guilty.
lump me in with that.
Is we turn on the AC, we turn on the lights, TV, we don't really care about how energy is being spent in a hotel. We close the door, we go out for our day, we come back, it's all still on.
So the regular people don't.
Regular people
Right.
don't. Let's put it that way. We have
Yeah.
3 regular people here.
I'm
Us mere
irregular.
mortals.
So on that front, and not just people who uses the hotel, when you go to Sundays, usually hotels operate in a certain set way. That is, on the weekends they are at 90% efficient occupancy and 90 to 100%. During weekdays they are at 25 to 40% occupancy, right? So when the housekeepers go in on Sunday after the guests check out, they really don't shut off the ACs or they really don't shut off the TVs or sometimes even the taps, right? Because they have other rooms to catch up to and they have a set time and they have to be fast in doing that job. We have to see two sides of coins. I understand their part because I have managed housekeepers in the hotel as well. At the same time, they really don't care. And then when you walk into the room 4 days down the road, the AC is still on for 4 days.
Blasting.
So, as a control engineer, something that came into my mind is it's simple solution. You need a sensor inside the room and you need a control for the power to that room.
Yeah.
So when there is nobody around, turn it off. Well, it's not really that easy because we are in Canada. I cannot turn off the heating during mid-February.
No, it's against the law. Yeah.
First thing, and second thing is lighting. Or I could charge my laptop and get out of the room. If I'm not in the room, my laptop wouldn't charge or my phone wouldn't charge and things like that, right? So that was how the building automation part using sensors and AI came into picture. And how it developed from there is we separated that into 3 different streams: lighting, HVAC, and appliances. And an additional factor was security cameras that goes with that.
Okay.
AC played a big role in helping us segregate these things because of the mentors and everybody that was involved. So I was just an engineer who had an idea and I wanted to make a business out of it. And we refined a lot of our business ideas through AC.
So who was your, I don't want you to like throw someone under the bus, but what kind of customer was your first customer? Not who, because I don't want you to tell that, but.
Our customer initially was hospitality industry.
Okay.
And if I did not come into AC, I say this to every single person that I talk to, is if I did not come into AC, I would have spent 2 years in
The
developing.
AC as in the Accelerator Center, not air conditioning now.
Yes,
You've just
Accelerator
mentioned 2 different
Centre.
ACs, we want to be clear.
No. Accelerator Centre.
Yes.
If I am not here at Accelerator Centre Waterloo,
Yes.
I would have gone down the hospitality industry, pursuing down that for 2 years and then later closing the company.
Right.
Because I'm not sure how many people know about the curve of diffusion. I'm sure majority of people know about the curve of diffusion, market adaptation, and things like that, which I did not know, by the way. I feel very proud saying that because I did not know that. And
all
after I
learn
came
new
here,
things.
I'm like, holy cow, that's pretty
we
cool.
We all learn new things, ...
Yeah.
You and your ellipses.
So on that front, they helped me realize that hospitality industry is not the first industry to switch to new technology because
Yeah.
Ritz-Carlton downtown Toronto, take that off. So
A
I don't want to
large
name any.
hotel
I don't want to
downtown.
name any hotels. A major hotel in any major city, what will happen is they would spend $2 million on a painting, but they would not spend $20 on a new technology because it depends on the customer experience. And if a customer had a bad experience, he will leave and he will never come back, right?
Yeah.
So there is nothing wrong with that. It just I didn't have the entrepreneurial mind before I came into the AC to actually look at it from that side. And then, because as an engineer, engineers are arrogant. 90% of the engineers say, well, I designed a cool product, you have to buy it.
True.
Yeah, and that's why you do need salespeople or marketing
Or
people.
Lucas for that.
Yeah.
And Ravina for that. And my whole team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell me, who else is on the team? Are you a team of 3 then?
we
Ravina's
are-
just off to the side here doing marketing. She's doing a great job.
We are a team of 23.
23.
Wow.
Yes. So,
Awesome.
That's-
Are you a sole co-founder, or do you have
No, I
a
have
sole
partners.
co-founder? That's even not even
I
a
don't
thing.
even know if that is a
Sole
word.
founder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Co-founded it with myself.
Yes.
Multiple
I'm not a
identities.
sole I'm not a sole founder.
Gotcha.
So I have other partners in the company as well.
Okay.
So they help me develop. I had the idea, but then I did not know. I have no experience in running a business or actually setting up a company in a country where I'm not born. So it's very new for me to adapt to local
Right.
customs and local culture and
You seem
to
pretty,
start up
pretty sharp.
to start up a
Look very-
business.
Yeah, he's a pretty sharp guy. So at 23 employees, 22 employees, you obviously have some sales or some financing or some do
Yeah.
you have venture capitalism, or how's that rolling for you?
What's your sort of fuel on that one? Yeah.
We are going through our founders seed capital investment right now. So that is helping us good. And we really want to be organic in terms of our fundraising for this part. But eventually we will get into VCs, but we are not interested in them right now. So what we are doing is, because I have to quote the social network on this, we are throwing the coolest party in the campus, but we don't want to shut it down at 11 p.m. We want to see where it goes, right?
Right.
So that's
All
what he
right.
said.
Yeah, 11:31. Hacker Nest isn't over at 11, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually it is. Get out, eat your cake, and move on, folks.
High kicks.
No, it's an analogy. So
Yeah,
we,
no,
we
I
are
get
doing something cool, and we
You
really
got that one. You like analogies.
I do.
Yeah.
I tried to
and
stretch
we
it out.
really don't want to get in a VC or a major investor right
Yeah.
now to make it structured. I want to have a shared experience with all my team members in.
But
working
you
with the
are
startup.
already making sales.
Yes,
You've got
we are making
customers.
sales, yes.
So that funding is more just to sort of help you grow.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have sales generating revenue, and we have some deals with local financial organizations and institutions here to help us execute the projects with some banks here. And on top of that, for fundraising, there is so much local support here. You can go through Mars AF, OCE, there is Shred, there is
Yeah.
so many things that you can do organically in Canada. I don't know about
Lots of options.
outside of Canada, but inside Canada, there are so many opportunities and so many ways in which you can raise funds without going to a VC unless it is required, right?
Sure.
So if you look for it, there is always a way to raise funds through Canadian federal government or provincial government or municipal government or somebody who is helping you grow it organically. So we are doing that right now. Eventually, we will be moving away from that and then getting into the VC stage.
Great. Yeah.
From the business side, the best way to raise funds is to sell stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Right. Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
always say, right?
No, that's the best way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and that's why I asked. Like you are not just like a lot of when we talk to a lot of early stage startups, they're predominantly funded by VCs or funding of some sort. But you are 23 people. You're a little bit beyond that stage. You are actually making profit, and that. I mean, it's reality that a lot of companies, as they grow, do need to get a little extra support, and that's
Yeah.
what you're talking about. But you are making sales. You are legit making sales, and you are making a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, our last install here locally was in an eCraftsman facility, so it's a transformer facility.
Cool.
And Harry was actually had an interesting story about how
Electrical transformers, not transformer.
Sorry,
Not Decepticon.
I had to. That was
Autobots
too
and
easy.
Transformers.
That was too easy. I had to throw it in there.
But yeah, so that was an exciting one that we did locally here, and really going in there and talking to the employees after we installed our lighting system.
Yep.
The light was just so much better for them. They could actually work and see what they were working on, and not have these lights hanging down 10 feet from the ceiling, looking like they're just hovering over
Right.
you. And then the energy savings are there as well.
So it's not just an energy improvement. You're also talking about it's a better light.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So for our system on the sales side, we will go through and do an energy savings calculation with the client to say, what's your existing system? How much energy are you using? And then when we go in with our system, we optimize the layout of the facility through our software and say, your optimal lighting is actually achieved by putting our fixtures here, here, and here. LED fixtures so much more efficient, and then we also have the scheduling and featuring that other companies can't do essentially through our system. We just have a tablet on the wall, and you can pick which lights you want scheduled, when you want them scheduled. So for factories, you want the lights on at 9, off at 5. No human dependency on turning those on and off. Energy doesn't get wasted.
So
That's great.
it's that energy side, and then there's some employee satisfaction and
for sure.
that kind of side, which is really important too.
Well, another one that we did locally here was Monkey Wrench, an automotive repair shop. And before we went in there, the employees were working on cars and they had like flashlights in their mouths,
Seriously?
working on them.
That can't be efficient.
And then we got some sincere gratitude from the same employees when after our lights went in, they're like, you have no idea how nice it is to work when there's actually light for me to see what I'm working
4 hours to change a tire. When you lose 1 bolt, you can't find it, right? So.
And it's also interesting to talk to prospects about the increased worker productivity through having better lights, right? So if employees see what they're doing, they'll probably work a little bit better. So everybody wins.
In theory.
That's awesome. Yeah. So let's start with some.
Very serious.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. And now on to you.
So Harry, tell me about your wins.
Yeah, what are some wins you've had?
All right, sir. I
What's
will
gone
think
well?
about my wins.
Don't encourage him by calling him sir.
Okay, so the first success that I would say since the start of the company was moving into the Accelerator Centre AC, because that really made me feel like a company. Until then, it was founders sitting around drinking beer, talking about this for an hour, or 2 hours drinking beer and 5 minutes of company talk, and we just leave.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that
really
pretty much is what every startup is until you actually move into an incubator. I feel, personally, you might be very serious in your garage, but I did not feel very serious in my garage. We ran through more cases than beer cases than more clients
Than
or
use
ideas.
cases.
So on that front, AC was a very first point in success because it not only says that only the founder were believing on that, we got validation from an incubation center as well, so, which is a competitive incubation center, by the way. AC is very competitive for it. It's very difficult for people to get in. No offense to other incubators locally.
No, they're a really well-respected incubator, and they're not an incubator, they're an acceleration center. It's different. I was explaining that incubators are unconditional love no matter what.
Yeah.
Accelerators are you better keep going.
Yes.
Incubators give you hugs.
So, so on that front, being validated by an accelerator center was very important point of our first success. The second success was building a team around the idea, finding people who believe in what we believed in, the same passion that we had. It's very hard to find, you can find a team for a paycheck, but we don't want to find a team for a paycheck.
Right.
We want to find teams that actually have the passion that shares our...
That's a common thing that a lot of startups feel is that when you're so passionate about something, and it's a team of 3, to convince other people to join you and just see, take a chance on you and really believe in what you're doing, that's something that is definitely a win. You've gotten to 23 people. Yeah. And you're still growing, I would imagine.
We are still growing.
Yeah, so that is something that definitely is a challenge.
Yeah. So
congrats on getting to 23.
But that doesn't happen without a vision. You know what I mean? And that's what I think really Horizon is special for having is, the meetings that we have in full team. It's not easy to get everyone together, but when we do have those meetings, it's very clear as to what our path is. And I think that's something, and I'm probably jumping ahead to the losses or whatever, but that's not really loss. That's just something that in order to succeed and see the rapid growth that you have to have that really clear and defined goal as to this is what we're all working towards, and then just having people funneling into that. And I'd say that's a major strength here.
So what's another win you've had?
We talked about an accelerator center validating our idea, our team validating our idea. Now we need somebody to pay for our idea, don't we? So
it's all the validation.
That was our next major win. I would say is our first customer who is a very major player locally, and we got through him, and then now we are. It was a small shop first thing, and then after that we got into a major facility as well. So we had sales before
that very first customer, and then successive customers after that, but it does need that first one to really validate you.
So until then, anybody that you go to, they're always, it's a cool idea, so where can I go see one in real life? And there is one customer who says, it's a cool idea, do it here, and then show it to other people in real life, right? So you don't really have to, you cannot make any money under the sun in the first sale as opposed to making a validation and then showing it to other people.
Right.
So for me personally, as a startup, I really wouldn't mind what is a profit I'm making out of it as opposed to the validation and make somebody writing a check.
Yeah.
I don't care what the check is,
Yeah.
but a check and a place where other can see
Yeah,
the
that first
idea,
sale was
right?
more of a partnership than a sale,
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they believe in you and help you.
Exactly.
That's
So
awesome. So
these
all
are three
three
major
sort of
ways.
successes for you, or wins, were all validation based, which is really cool. And in different little areas.
Yeah. So on the flip side of that,
What'd you
what
struggle with?
Yeah, what are some losses or some things you've maybe had to pivot on or?
Well, I can talk about one on the sales side in terms of actually nailing down a concrete sales process. As Harry alluded to earlier, it doesn't matter how awesome your product is if you can't clearly communicate the value that you're bringing to the marketplace, how you're going to help those needs for those end clients. It doesn't matter what you're doing, right? So actually laying out the process, and Kevin Hood here has been amazing for me personally in my development and also helping.
Is
Horizon.
he a mentor here?
Yeah, he's a sales
Okay.
and marketing mentor here. But just actually laying out what is a sales process, how does it work, and clearly as a vision for the company, every step where you are in that sales process, knowing exactly what you need, having the exact materials that are going to help you get that job and where you're going is a major challenge and requires hours and hours and hours. And a lot of companies don't necessarily think that that's where the resources should be allocated to. But in terms of having scalable growth later on, you just need that defined process. And it takes forever and you're constantly iterating. Like first time through, everything that you thought was going to work doesn't work, as most startups, find out. But
You using a fancy funnel these days? Or you're,
getting people down the sales funnel, that's what Kevin says.
Well, we've heard a similar thing from a lot of companies that have sort of talked about, we had this great thing, but then we realized we had to sell it, or we got that first customer, we invested so much time into that first customer, but then we realized after that customer we had to keep selling, and we hadn't really thought about that. So what you're talking about is really that whole sales process to make sure that you have sustainable growth, that you're still growing after you sell to one.
Well, and just having a book that you can hand to any oncoming salesperson that just says, here's exactly how we sell, and then your lead time to get that person to be productive is.
So that loss has been that you definitely had to struggle with
Create
that.
Oh yeah.
Did you feel that? Yeah.
The blood, sweat, and tears, but it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
So
what's another one that you've struggled with?
I would say I wanted to say technology, but then everybody says that, so I really don't want to say technology,
Well,
right? I mean,
you can.
every company who is running a startup company has some struggle with their technology.
But that's the reality. It's something that's similar that we all face.
That's very, very true. For me, one major struggle or one major challenge that I had to go through is me personally changing away from an engineer and to become an entrepreneur and talk about
Or a CEO.
not being an engineer. Because initially on the first few months, I would say anybody who is sitting in my room, me explaining my idea, they would, after the meeting, they would say, I had no clue what you're talking about. You might as well talk in Greek or Latin or just some gibberish. I would have not understood.
I can personally vouch for that because when Harry moved in and saw me, he couldn't explain what he did.
That's a definite challenge for a lot of people. You have a great idea to then translate that into getting people to join your team, getting customers, all that stuff that you're talking about. It does mean that you have to change how you talk and how you think. And
exactly. As an engineer, you can talk to another engineer, but your ideal customer is not an engineer, and you have to move out of that engineering mindset and then take it into a conversable term that everybody is able to understand, right? So that was a very big challenge for me to move up. I think I'm doing a lot better than what I was before, as long as you guys understood what I said. So
most understood,
You have some rabid nodding behind you in validation.
I always tell the tech team, talk to me like I'm in grade 6, and then I can understand.
Yeah. So what's another something you've struggled with? Is there maybe a pitch that you had that failed horribly, or talked to a VC and it was so horrendous?
Actually, we haven't talked to VCs yet. So,
Okay.
I'm not going to say about the VC part of it.
You go to a setup and then you flip the switch and nothing happens. Or
on that side,
Okay, we got one.
there
We
it
got
is. I
one.
knew we'd get there.
on that side, forever, we have done some smaller projects to validate the POC, proof of concept, and that was done. And then we moved to a big facility, which is a 40,000 square foot facility. We turn on the lights. It was what happened was the installation was done on a long weekend day at 10 in the night. So
beer.
following the long weekend day, the Tuesday, everybody is coming back to work. And they have, all their lights are our lights. They don't have any other lights inside the facility.
Right.
So we turn on, we
No
later
redundant
found
system,
out there is a looping thing that we did inside our programming that was not it was well thought out for the smaller site, so it seemed seamless. And then when we had to handle a huge set of data, something really happened that the lights wouldn't turn on, or it turns on at random spots because because it was the programming queue was long enough, so it did not had enough time to process everything and then get the second loop to come in, so it was overflowing.
So how quickly did you fix that?
We fixed it at 5 a.m. And the shift starts at 6:15.
Oh, good.
So
you figured it out.
Yeah.
Before the shift came in.
Oh, that's good.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when the owners came in the next day, we went in there. We were like, how do you like our system? It works. It's great. I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, of course it does.
Seamless.
Does
Works
it?
every time.
Does now. That's good.
Nice.
So that was a interesting on-field technology challenge that we had to face because scaling up theoretically it all always makes sense, but when it's practical, sometimes it's not really the way that you plan it to work out. It doesn't matter if you find a route on Google Maps to go to downtown Toronto or if it is lighting a AA system to go online. So it always not comes out the way that it wants to come out, right?
I have this picture of the owner walking into the facility and seeing employees like huddled around like light bulbs hanging down, little spots just where the light is working.
Oh, that is
Some of the
random
light
too.
works.
The light that turns on the first time doesn't turn on the next time.
Oh, it's not the same, so they'd have to like scuttle to the next little spot. Like,
Like little bugs following.
That's why they fixed it. It's all good.
Yeah,
It's all
that's
sorted.
So
So what's
nobody
the-
knew that happened until like just now. Not even this team. If I told it to the sales guys,
is that
I'm
an
like,
exclusive then? So you got a TSP Weekly
It's a
exclusive.
TSP Weekly
Nice.
exclusive.
Thank you very much. Nicely done.
So on in terms we talked about some wins and some losses, but what are some things you're going to do in the future? You're growing,
Yeah.
so you can talk about those. But
For us in the future, we want to make ours the industrial standard because there is no industrial standard for IoT-based energy management for their facility equipments. Now, for their equipments in manufacturing, there are some latest softwares for that, but not for the lighting, HVAC, security cameras,
Right.
and their day-to-day accessories, which we all take for granted. But there is no IoT-based, AI-based system for that.
Where do you
So
start with a standard like that? Is it government-based, or do you go to other players in the market and say, "Hey, let's all do it the same guys"? Or like,
hitting
how do
the
you-
market hard and fast. So what
Yeah.
I mean by that is right now we have a proof of concept. This is our go-to-market strategy. I can now openly say this. Is we approach all the lighting manufacturers here locally, and then we say, here is our wireless module, here is our software, add this to your product. So you're big, these lighting guys are struggling to stay in the market with all the big names is because the lighting industry is changing rapidly.
Right.
From regular fluorescent to LEDs to smart LEDs nowadays. And the tier A guys, they survive because they have millions in R&D and to catch up with the market. Tier B and tier C guys, they really cannot survive in the market, and so we give them that feature. That is a solution that we are solving. So we go there. They already own 60% of the market. So we go there. We say with 10% additional for your cost price, you're able to make your light smart. You don't have to go through any R&D. That is how we make it the industrial standard. So
that's your goal, is to become industry standard.
yes.
Okay. What's your
And
next one?
IPO 2020.
I don't know what that means.
Sounds
Initial
like a
public
concert.
offering.
IPO 2020, like Lollapalooza or something.
Way home, 2020.
Initial public offering. So we want to go into a public company by 2020.
Start
okay.
selling stock
And
to
the stock
world.
market, TSX.
Okay, so 2020 was a year. I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
By
Thought
the
maybe
year
it was
by the year 2020.
That's some engineering talk coming out of his
Yeah.
mouth.
So
By
in the
the-
next 4 years, we can invest in you by buying some stock.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
That is our next future.
Start saving.
And then what's your third glimpse of the future?
Everything else basically comes down to that IPO. Is first thing is industrial standard. Second thing is we want to break the monopoly in this market and make in energy management cool. That's what I said before. That is the idea behind this company, right? Because right now there are some major players. You might have heard of them: Honeywell, Siemens, Johnson Controls, Rockwell, Allen Bradley. These are some major players inside this market. They have all been here in the market for a very, very,
Yes,
very
they have.
long time, and they're all big players. And the problem they bring on with them to the market, which everybody knows, is that if you go to a Siemens system, it's an end-to-end system. You only have to go with other Siemens components, and the maintenance and the carrying out of that is a
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a very big challenge to continue with their services, right? So we want to break that and make that an open source system, just like
Okay. So
Android
that's your third future? That's what you're going
that's
with?
your third
All right.
industrial standard.
of
Make
like
it open source, make it
A la
easily
carte
accessible,
instead of,
Cool.
and make building automation easily simple. really, really simple. It's not that hard, really. Turning on and turning off switches is not that
If they say that it's hard, then they get to own the business.
Yes.
It's
I'm saying it's not hard.
telling everyone out. Stop thinking it's hard. All right. It's good.
That was cool.
Now it's your favorite time.
So let's do our hashtag startup crushes, guys. Who are we looking around at in the
some
startup
startups
world?
that you're a startup that's doing really well, but is there any other startups that you are thinking are doing impressive things?
Thinking of doing
You
well.
each got one.
I'll start. Bartesian is a local company here.
Yeah.
So they do it's basically a Tassimo or a Keurig for cocktails.
Yeah.
Super, super cool. I
Yeah.
got an opportunity to work for them during a course I took at Laurier. That was
Cool.
awesome. And they've done some really cool stuff in terms at Laurier of partnering with startup companies to have students do 4-month work terms. We've had a couple. And it's gone really well. But yeah, they're doing cool stuff, and I'm going to buy one. I want
You
one.
didn't buy one already?
No, I haven't bought one already.
Get
but
on that.
I'll get there.
Make a sale and then buy one.
Sell some lights and,
And you can buy
What
one.
about you, Harry? Who are you thinking is doing great stuff?
I'm going to say for me, it's 11X.
11X?
Yeah, they're a local AC company here.
See, the thing is, you keep talking about AC, so I want to be clear.
Accelerator
A local Accelerator
Center.
Yeah.
Not an air conditioning.
Yes,
Yeah.
not an air conditioning company. No, they don't sell air conditioners. So
Much cooler.
What do they do?
They're a local Accelerator Center company. I was
Yeah.
going to say air conditioners.
Yeah.
So they're a local Accelerator Center company, and what they do is they are in the field of communication technology for IoT. So
Okay.
the problem with IoT today is how do you communicate in a larger network that is big. Inside a facility is okay, you can use your own local network, but what if I want to go use inside a city? I want to have an IoT-based city. Right.
Okay, so they help with that?
They help with that. So
Oh,
they set
we'll
up
get
the
them on.
communication network already, and all we have to do is subscribe to their communication. That is, and this technology is already available across Europe. It's called LoRa, and they're bringing it over here in Canada. So,
really neat.
So that is a very good company for
Cool.
me in my idea, based on whatever they're doing to help the IoT market. So
Very neat.
Great. All
Amaris,
right.
what about you?
No, it's all you this
You
time.
still need another second?
Yeah, I still need a minute.
Still thinking.
I was gonna talk about one of our friends, but I decided I'm switching.
Oh, no.
My startup crush this week is Grobo.
Oh,
Yeah, well, we
you
launched.
work there.
Yeah, so I work at Grobo.
They are doing super cool stuff.
We launched, and it has been an consuming.
Yeah, you guys are doing well with that launch.
Yeah, so I've seen 5 a.m. several mornings this week.
Well, yeah,
Mornings,
from
nights,
which end?
whatever they are.
Yeah,
Did you see them?
both ends? It feels like. So
Wow.
yeah, the candle's been burning at both ends for sure. So we're loving it. We're launched, doing pre-sales.
Cool.
Smart home gardening. So
Yeah.
really exciting. Yeah. What about
Yeah,
you?
that was like an ad for your company.
Thank
well
you.
Done.
I didn't even. I tried not to
Here's
look
the
directly
Grobo
at the
plug.
camera. Yeah. Get one now.
I still don't know.
Yeah.
Can I say
3D printing?
Yeah, but I don't know the name of that company.
Yeah, we forgot their name.
Yeah, I like what they're doing. It's cool,
Hmm.
but I don't know what they're called. Crap, I don't know.
Do Grobo.
Yeah. Can we do a double Grobo?
I would also like to talk about Grobo.
I kind of want to say the Accelerator Center because
Yeah.
I had Hacker Nest this week, and it was at the Accelerator Center.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rocking an Accelerator Center shirt. We're in the Accelerator Center right now.
Yep. You're a friend of Mike's as well.
Yeah, I obviously like programs that support and help grow the startup culture here, and I think the AC is doing a really good job. They often get forgotten about because they're all the way up in Waterloo, not Kitchener.
Yeah, I told my wife I'm driving all the way up to Waterloo. She laughs at me. Oh, what, like 10 minutes? I was like,
You have,
commute.
you have to see the
you
other
poor
side.
thing.
When we say we are going to Kitchener, the first question, why? Why do you have to go to Kitchener for?
We'll talk. We got things to talk about.
I think there's going to be a lengthy discussion after this podcast.
No, but I think what the Accelerator Center does is pretty awesome for companies. People sort of assume that they're just like Communitech, but not. But the reality is they're not at all like that. They're what they're doing is really pumping companies through, and you have to already have a validated idea, and I think you have to pay to be part of the AC.
No, we don't.
No?
We pay rent. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like some incubation
Very
centers.
subsidiary rent.
Exactly, but that's still sort of a commitment to say that you want to be part of this. It's not like you're just here to hang out.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's a legit. You have to be part of a real company and really have see that your company's going to grow somewhere, and then it's going to grow. You have to have sales. I think what they do is pretty cool, and they pump out really successful companies. Magnet Forensics is one of their grads. Kick is one of their grads. ClearPath Robotics. Myovision. Like, there's just tons of companies that are huge players in this community and elsewhere that are graduates from the AC. So I'm going with the AC.
Great one.
Final answer.
I think that was awesome. Yeah.
Rocked it. So who are we talking to next time?
But before we do that, how do we follow your guys' story?
Yeah, that's important.
Do you guys tweeters,
Yeah, what's your-
twats, or whatever the... That was very well done. Are you on Facebook? What's the website?
Shut up.
How do we get in contact?
Thank you.
Yeah, what's your Twitter?
Okay, our Twitter handle is Horizon Esaw. So did I do it right? Yeah, I did. So it is Horizon Esaw.
E-Sol?
Yeah,
SOL.
Horizon Engineering Solutions. It was me.
Okay.
So Horizon E-S-O-L.
Yes.
Okay.
Horizon
And
ESOL.
what's your website?
HEsolutions.ca. By the way,
Lucas
it's
is making fun of you.
For those
Yeah.
Canadians in the crowd, it's HE
Well,
Solutions.
some Canadians say that, actually.
Mate, you have to learn how to
out
speak
of
English
here.
proper, and H is the right way to say that.
Sorry, I
So,
didn't know.
on that matter, it's HEsolutions.ca.
Okay.
That is our website.
Is that Liverpool or is that more
I'm from
Manchester?
Manchester,
Okay,
Northern,
yeah,
so
just checking.
Just seeing where it's coming from.
Manchester.
All right,
So-
that's great. Do we need to know anything else about them? I think.
And Horizon Engineering Solutions, we also have a Facebook page. So
Oh, you do? Okay,
Awesome.
cool.
So next week, we're actually in talks right now to talk to some Communitech people, right? But that's sort of
no.
still in the air. Do you have an update on that for me?
Or are we? No, but I think
We are?
probably. Yeah, we're talking about Geek Week
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah,
But
so we just haven't firmed that up yet.
episode 104 is Geek Week.
Yep.
Because we went on the 570 news and it didn't really pan out.
Yeah.
The sound was wonky, so we're going to do it again.
Yeah. Have some
But
clean
here.
cuts.
And I was on the 570 news, so you can interview me next week.
That'd be awesome.
Not at all.
Start thinking about your startup crash.
Me. I am my own startup crush.
That's awesome. Any parting shots, guys, before we leave? Any knowledge, little nuggets you want to leave out
Drop
there?
some knowledge on us?
Yeah. Tell me something I don't know.
tell you something that you don't know.
Yeah, something big.
Okay, so when you wash your white shirt and you go into a club, you know why the white shirt shines? Because of fluorine inside your detergent.
Oh, okay.
Florian.
I didn't know that.
Cool.
I didn't know that I was going to a club either.
No,
He's real old. He doesn't know clubs.
wait,
That's
clubs
awesome.
existed in the 18th century, right?
They did. Back when I had hair. Yeah. Well, that was awesome, guys. Thanks very much. I think that's about it for us for TSP Weekly, episode 103. We'll see you back for episode 104. So for myself, Stephen, Amaris, Harry, and Lucas, we all have last names. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you all next week.